Well, good morning, everybody. It's good to see everybody here on this beautiful Saturday morning. Everybody's looking pretty cool here. Man, oh man, oh man. I can see, look at that shake Lucy's drinking right there. Put that up again, honey. Let them see it one more time. I want to tell y'all. Oh my God. Power shake. Uh, can't beat this. Aloe Digest. Pineal Clear. Um, Dark Berry, a little bit of more greens, some fresh frozen fruit, a couple shots of ionic elements. Uh, can't beat this again. Oh my God. A little bit of papaya mango, a half a banana. I want to tell you, you drink that drink every morning, you don't think that's breakfast? Breakfast is no longer in our conversation since we've been doing this shake like we've been doing the last 6, 8 months. Oh my God. And my puppy even loves it. I put some on my finger out of her bowl. I put it out there, and man, your dog will lick it right up. So Purium is for everyone, as we all know. There's not a soul around that shouldn't be in Purium. As a matter of fact, Lucy and I were out shopping yesterday, and we were at Macy's, and I had a gift card in my pocket. Okay, and I said, "Who am I going to give this to?" And we went to the place where Lucy buys this amazing skincare that she buys. And I'm talking to the lady, and I knew the lady wasn't vibing to nutrition. Then a lady sat down next to me, and I kind of felt her out where she was about nutrition. And this lady, man, she needed it so bad. And so did the lady waiting on me. So I kind of brought it up. And then a lady came walking over who worked in another part of the skincare department. She had beautiful tattoos on her body. She had energy. She was a little bit overweight. She wasn't totally, you could see she was not energetically as she could be. And I just flat out said to her, I said, you look like a very healthy person. But my senses are you need something else to get you over to that next level. And she said, yeah, well, I have been feeling a little this and that. And she was open. And as soon as she was open, I said, you know what? I have got some superfoods that will change your life. You give me 90 days. I'll guarantee I'll give you your money back if you're not happy. So when I talk to people about Purium, it's as I own the company. I'm not representing Purium. I am Purium. Okay. And so this lady, all of a sudden, Lucy walked into the picture and I said, look how great she looks. She's been eating these foods for 10 years. And Lucy was 5 years, 7 years older than this lady. And Lucy, energy, her skin was feeling good or tight, just looking good, having fun. And so long story short, the lady said, you know what? I'm interested. Gave her the gift card, and Lucy and her started talking, and they'll probably talk over this weekend. But the bottom line is, y'all, there isn't a person that you go by that is not ready to learn about eating some foods that will change your life. And a percentage of them will become brand partners. It's that simple. It's just a matter of, I think what I have found out for myself, and I had to really evaluate this week, how much do I really want to help people? Because I've noticed I'm not as outgoing as I used to be. I'm not as happy strangers as I used to be. And I started doing some meditation this week on seeing myself being more out there, giving and opening and sharing. So I did the visualization. And when you do that visualization, you got to, like, for example, if Lori, if you're sitting out in the park, or if you're in a yoga position and you're doing your yoga, Lori is a prolific yoga teacher from Canada, y'all. So we're in the company of an amazing yoga teacher here. And so Lori, so when you're doing your meditation, you got to go above yourself. Everybody, you got to go above yourself and look at yourself, or wherever you are. I don't care if you're sitting at the desk, walking in the park, but you got to see yourself and look at yourself and separate your spirit from almost like physically and see yourself. And then just start saying, God, oh man, give me more energy. Yeah, smile more, be more radiant, be more giving. Open up. People want to know what I'm doing. People want to know that I've got something that's special for them. but you got to take the time to visualize it. My great acting teacher, he was an old Russian Jew, and he worked with Michael Chekhov from Europe. Michael Chekhov is considered the greatest actor teacher in Russia. In the whole archives of Russia, he's considered one of the greatest actors. And the technique that Michael developed was all about visualization, seeing yourself. See yourself today when you get off this call, see yourself walking to the health food store and you run into somebody and you just start talking with them. And maybe you don't lay Purium on them that day, because if you go to the same health store, you're going to run into these people all the time. So that when next time you're in there and you see them, then drop the Purium. But in the first time, just connect. Hey, how are you? Yeah, you happy with the vegetables that are coming in? Are you comfortable with the tariff that we're having to pay on these vegetables? A little humor. And so, long story short, you'll connect with people and they'll love your energy. And the thing about Purium people, I mean, look at Dominique. Look at that picture of Dominique down there, y'all. That girl's got some energy, man. Look at Carlos. Look at Ra. Look at Lori. Look at Dan. Look at Carrie. You guys are all movie stars. Honest to God, I was an actor for 20 years. I worked with movie stars. I was a good actor. I was really a good actor. You guys are all, if I cast any one of you in a part, the audience would go, who is that person? That person looks cool. I've never seen him before. I could put Carrie in a role and people would fall in love with her. I'd get Eric to be in a serious part, and oh man, people would go, that guy's a great actor. So I just say to you all, open up, let it out. We got to touch these people, because I'm telling you, these folks are hurting out there. 90% of our population is getting no nutrients. So anyway, so I'll say enough on that. So I want to show you just a little bit of, I want to talk about, and anybody who wants to add to this conversation, but we want to talk and just be real about when we're doing network marketing and choosing Purium as our vehicle. That's what we've done. You want to do network marketing. You want to be out there connecting with people and creating a residual income. So you choose a company and you look at Purium and go, wow, do they fit my standards? Yes. They're the best superfoods on the planet. The owners are committed to the cleanliness of the food. And as long as they're committed to that and have a good comp plan, which we have, and tools that they constantly keep creating at the company, I mean, the icing is on the cake. So the question is, do you want to create a residual income by helping brand partners bring in a few brand partners who bring in a few brand partners, or do you want to just turn on customers? The good thing about Purium is you can do either. You can build, I think Troy at one time had, $20,000 in customers. Carolina and Rog had 8, 10, how many thousands in customers? Many of you, have built customer bases up to 1,000 to 10,000 in customers. That's a great check every month. However, if you want security and freedom and a lifestyle change, you want to help 3, 4, 5 brand partners, minimum of 3, get 3 doing the same thing you just did. And then, so if Lori sponsors me and teaches me about the ULT and how I can eat it and share it with other people and get a few brand partners, so I'm in business for $384 with a month of two meals a day, plus a gut cleanse and a parasite cleanse. My God, it's one of the greatest packs in the history of the world. Okay, so for $384, I'm in business. So I'm going to go out and find 3 people who want to get in business and spend $340 and feel as good as I'm going to feel. Okay, now you're off and running with at least with 3 people. You might have to sponsor 10 brand partners to find those 3 that say, yes, I'm doing this with you. But if you commit to what the thing about it is, I find most people don't commit to the people they enroll. When you enroll somebody, you better be calling that person every other day. Checking in, just a check-in call. Hey, how are you? Just checking in. You need anything? You make your list. You got any people you want me to 3-way call with? Are you getting on the call with, are you doing the Monday night call where get on the Monday night call for customers? Get on the Wednesday night call for learning about being on a brand partner. Get on Dave Sandoval's product call. You got the formulator of the company does a call every week because he wants to educate people. Okay, so bottom line is, y'all, there are so many things we got going for us with the way doing network marketing. So the question is, if Lori sponsors me and I sponsor Carlos, I better teach Carlos, and Carlos is going to teach Carrie. Now, Lori is 3 levels deep with me, Carlos, and Carrie. And we're all getting our 3. I'm getting my other 2 besides Carlos that are going to be active and building. So there again, I might have to sponsor 5, 6 brand partners. Some start slower than others. But the bottom line is, I want to get 3 serious active people that are going to bring in 3. So what am I doing? If I'm going to buy the Ultimate Lifestyle for 3 months in a row, I'm getting 250 BV on that product. So my commitment is 250 BV every month. I want to do 250 BV every month. If I'm on a budget, 200 BV, but the Ultimate Lifestyle for the first 3 months is 250 BV every month. Now I want to go out and build customers. I want to start looking for customers to get on the ULT. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to get some brand partners started. I'm going to make my list of customers, make my list of brand partners. And you're going to get them started. If you believe it. If you're sitting around not believing in yourself, don't think anybody else is, because they're not. It starts with you. You're the CEO. And if you're having fun, and if you're not having fun, don't do this. Because these are the best foods on the planet that make you feel good. So you got to keep a smile on your face. You got to keep a joyful attitude, because even though we might be struggling at times financially, this could be going on. You got pressures about this. You know, the good thing about 99% of the people in Purium, they don't have health challenges because they're eating good foods and feeling good. And the most people you talk to they're not doing it. Most people you talk to, they don't have residual income and they ain't feeling good. Because I'm looking at them every day and praying for them, you know, and I'm not giving out enough gift cards. You want to have fun, get yourself a little gift card. I make them up for Lucy and other people, you know, and you want to get some gift, make yourself talk to 5 people every day for 2 or 3 days. Make yourself do it. Go to the health food store. I love going to the store with Lucy when she goes to Macy's and wherever, because I'm looking for somebody that I know I can relate to. So anyway, let me show you this little flyer I've got here. Anybody want to add anything to that? Carolina, Rob, you want to jump in and say anything?
Are you gonna? I mean,
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Talk for a minute. I'm looking for something.
Well, you talked a little bit about multiple levels deep, and that wasn't, in network marketing or Purium even, a lot of what we talk about is enrolling somebody who enrolls somebody who enrolls somebody who enrolls somebody. And a lot of times that's like a perfect progression, and we don't rely on that. So as the CEO of your organization, we need to make sure that everybody who enrolls, like right now, like on my computer, I'm going through and I check all the brand partners that enroll into Purium. Every new customer, every new brand partner, I have an awareness of. And so when you enroll a brand partner who enrolls a brand partner, help your brand partner help your brand partner, and then help that brand partner help their customers, because people are going to lose sight of how to do things and even what's important. If you have a brand partner 3 levels deep who just enrolled a customer, they might not know to check in, and your brand partner's brand partner who enrolled that brand partner who enrolled a customer might not know to tell that brand partner to check in with that customer. And so a lot of times, if you have good relationships with your brand partners, you don't even really need to ask them. Just make sure every new person in your organization is being taken care of. And if you don't think that your people are doing it, either teach them, and if they're not responsive and they still are enrolling people, make sure that those people are taken care of. Don't leave things to chance. And you don't want to just do everything for everyone because that might not stimulate people to be independent. And at the same time, you have to kind of weigh the circumstances. Like, are people going to stimulate someone? And then the moment that, like, you might help somebody enroll somebody who could potentially be a superstar, and just stick with the people. This is what we mean when we say work where the energy is, go where the energy is, because that energy is very probable not going to be on your front level, because there's going to be more brand partners and more customers the bigger your organization gets, deeper down below your front level, because your front level is only enrolled by you, but your second level is enrolled by everybody in your first level, and your third level is enrolled by everybody in your second level, which potentially should be more people. And so just make sure you have your
Mm.
eyes on your entire organization.
Yes, well said. Well, you want to add anything to that, Carolina?
Um, so yeah, I mean, your team is going to take you to the top. It's not your customers, and it's not the people that you enroll. It's the people that you enroll, that they enroll, that they enroll, that they enroll, that they enroll. Like, everybody plays a little part. And most of my top superstars are not the people that I personally enrolled. It's like I enroll somebody that did nothing, that enroll somebody that did nothing, that enroll a superstar. And now I get to work with that person in my third, fourth level. I mean, yesterday, I was literally all day working with somebody on my fifth level because I spotted her. I'm like, she's a superstar. So I'm going to glue myself to her because I know that she is going to be the next crown of the company. Like, I know it. And just like Lucy knew that I was going to be a crown, I know that she's going to be a crown. Like, I can feel it in my whole entire body. And you get to know these things when you sign up a superstar, like, or you don't sign them up, but you spot them in your downline. So you have to tap root. Tap rooting is how you get to the top. It's not about selling. I mean, most of the crowns in this company, they barely sell $1,000. I mean, they have to qualify for crown, but the priority is not selling, it's recruiting for the business, because that's what's going to allow you to get to have a residual income. And I know, Michael and Raw, you said it, it's not about you doing all the work. Guys, when I joined this business, I was doing everything for everyone. And I got to crown, but I got to crown burnt out. My hair was falling. I got angry because I was doing everything. So I was pissed off at everybody. I was crying all the time because I had these expectations that they needed to do something and they weren't doing it. So I had to do it. And I was putting so much pressure on myself, and I wasn't having that freedom that we talk about in network marketing, that time freedom, because I was a slave. I was working 24/7. And I had to let go of the control of having to do everything and do it better, because I had this story in my head. Like, if I do it, I'm going to do it better. Right. So I got to talk to their prospects. I got to close their people. I have to be on the phone with everybody in my downline because I know I can close everyone. And if I get on the phone, everybody will have customers. But then guess what? When I wasn't available, they weren't capable of closing their own customers because they never got to practice. They never got to be in leadership. And this is the business of leading, not doing things for people, but showing them how to do it, right? You don't give them the fish, you teach them how to fish. That's how you start growing leaders and independent leaders. So my business did take a dip. And I'm not going to lie, it did take a lip because I had to let go of the control and I had to start trusting my team. And Lucy kept telling me, trust your downline, trust your team. And inside of me, I was like, but I can't trust them. I'm going to drop in rank. Like, I'm no longer going to be a 2-star crown, whatever. I'm going to drop in rank because I'm not going to be doing all of it. So I had to sacrifice a little bit to be able to develop real leadership. And now I'm in a strong, huge comeback. Like, since I let go and I allowed people to learn by their own mistakes, and I allow them to say the wrong thing, and I allow them to be rejected so they can feel what rejection feels like, so then they can improve and get better. That's when I started building real leadership. And now it's not like I don't do anything. I still do work, but I do work differently. I inspire people instead of trying to manage or do stuff for them. And that's how you grow, and that's how you go strong. And that's real network marketing. I mean, I see Michael and I see Lucy, and they're enjoying their lives. And Lucy always tell me, just have fun, just enjoy. And inside of my mind, I'm like, she's freaking crazy. I have to recruit more people. I have to do more. I have to do another Zoom. I have to do another event. Like, what do you mean enjoy? And I was like, it was really hard for me to like slow down, because it's not about working hard, it's about working smart. And then I will see other crowns in the company, they're busting their ass, they're working 24/7. Like, there's no time and freedom in their lives, right? Because they're doing it all, because they're doing everything. So there's no time and freedom. There's crowns, but there's no freedom. I want to be a crown with freedom, right? And this is why duplication is so important, is to teach other people what you do and better than you. So you can just
God, there's a crown, there's a freedom crown right there. I see. Hey, you sure look beautiful, Carolina. I'll tell you that right now. Right, Rob?
Yeah.
Look at these. Look at that cute couple, you guys. Aren't they a cute couple?
Can I say something? And you guys
Sure.
can hear that there's like paradoxical energy, right? There's like, make sure that your downline is doing what needs to be done, and then also at the same time trust that they can do it. So there is sort of these nuances that you explore and you get the hang of, and it's going to happen through your own experimentation and lessons. One thing, when you hear people say enroll, 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 it's our responsibility to, because Carolina just mentioned we were working with someone in our, she was working with someone in our fifth level. We even met her at, like at 9 p.m. last night as well. But that person exists because uh, Carolina was talking to her third level person who was about to quit a couple years ago, and she was like, "No, I don't need to do this. I make enough money." And so she was like, "Well, who do you know? Name one person." And so that she said, "All right, I'm seeing a client tonight. Let me mention the ULT to this client." She did that. Carolina drove to this person's house and brought the box. So now fourth level, we're talking about fourth level customer. Carolina drove to this person's house, brought the box because the third level brand partner wanted to quit. Carolina's like, "Well, do you have one more?" And Carolina drove to this fourth level customer with a box, stimulated that customer to be active in the business little by little. That person is Sharon Winters, and is a superstar. So Sharon becomes a brand partner, and then Sharon says like also like Sharon's like, I know somebody in Ventura, and like months and months and months went by, and then eventually like Carolina went and talked to this other person who owns a studio, and it's like fifth level, and now that person's stimulated. And it's we don't just work through our own network, because that's going to run out. Some of you guys might be thinking, I don't have anybody else I can reach out to that I'm comfortable reaching out to, that it makes sense to reach out to. You will get to that point. We're always at that point. But once you enroll a new brand partner, now you have access to their network, and that's potentially hundreds of people. And we're not greedy, we're not snaky, we're not going in and trying to manipulate them to introduce us to people, but we do it in a way that we're serving people, that we're helping people. Who do you know that is not sleeping at night? You start with customers, you start with brand partners. Who do you know who has clients? Who do you know that has clients that could use a detox? Like, we're just constantly asking questions to stimulate them so that we can inspire conversations with these people that make sense. And you're the expert, you can offer support, but it takes creativity. It's not just about like, it's not so easy to just be like, Purium's amazing and I want to tell you about it. There is question asking and creativity that we always need to be thinking of. And for me, that happens when you're focused on Purium. This is my main point. When you're focused on growing Purium, when you're focused on finding brand partners that are in your organization's networks, that takes focus. When you start daydreaming about it, when you start thinking, the ideas will come to you and they'll feel stimulating. when you're focused on Purium. If you just think Purium's like something on the side that may or may not, you might get lucky. It's never going to happen with luck. It takes focus, and then you will create an organization from there. And your brand partners will be creative through your creativity, through your question asking, through your leadership.
Yes, well said. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ra and Carolina. You know, their leadership. I always, you know, there again, when we get together, man, brainstorming takes off. You know, we just have a good old time. And Carolina has this amazing dog called Solar, who I fell in love with, who dragged me through the park one day. It's 100, she's 110 pound. He's, you know, a tough guy, and he's never been fixed. So one day I'm walking him in the park, and he just turns and just jumps at some dog that was kind of barking at him. He wasn't starting it, and he literally, I went sideways through the park about 10 feet, 5 feet through the air. It was amazing. So I fell in love with Solar from the minute I met him. But what they're all saying, y'all, is absolutely right. You know, I'll tell you, if you look at this call, okay, Lucy and I sponsored a guy named David Jeffries in New York City, and Dan is probably on his third level, who's been loyal to Purium for years, and we've become dear friends. And you know, I'm looking at Candy. Candy's on the call because of Lucy sponsored Ada. Okay. You know, here we've got Lori on the call because, you know, she's sponsored by Isabel over in Toronto, in Quebec. You know, so it's like you know, there's nobody on this call that we sponsored directly. And when we sponsored Christopher Taylor, who's a friend of ours from the last company, and Troy was living right down the street. So I asked Chris to come down to get him started in Purium, you know, 12 years ago. And we had been working on, I saw Troy across the street, and I said, Troy, come in the house here. And I had all the Purium tables on our kitchen table. And Troy walks in, he's got his two kids. We were always helping him babysit his two kids and things like that, just to be, because we're like an uncle to him, uncle and aunt. And, you know, he comes in, we said, we want to get you started on this. And he was not in a place to do it. He was hurting financially. He was the other company had been down about a year. And Troy wasn't the hot shot on Facebook that he is now, or whatever, on social media. But the bottom line is, you know, we just worked with him and got him started with Christopher. And, you know, as a result of that, he sponsors Ra, who sponsors Carolina. And all of a sudden, and then, you know, and then here's Dominic that comes in on another team under Troy. And the same with Kiki underneath Sharon Winters. And you got Carlos. So and, you know, Carrie, who came in also through Troy and Barbero. So it's like you got the name. When I first started this, they used to say, you just got to get it started. It's kind of like tag, you're it. You run around, hit someone with your tag, you're it. Same with Purium, you're it. Purium, you're it. And all of a sudden, that person that you turns on someone who just bigger than all of us. You know what it is, you all? Most people never have the opportunity to have their own business. For $384, you can have your own business in Purium and 30 organic superfood meals. I mean, you talk about an offer. 30 organic superfood meals, a gut cleanse. I mean, let's face it, our protein, fruit, and vegetable, the power shake, vegetable, the protein, the aminos, the fruit, the apothecary. That's 3 of the most potent foods on the planet. Plus, you get your gut cleanse and get rid of some parasites. Oh my God. And then you got a business you can tell other people, and you get, you know, and you duplicate that ULT. And if that let me share this with you real quick. Lucy, did you want to add anything?
Carrie has a question.
Oh, Carrie's got her hand up. Go ahead, Carrie.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Carolina and Ra. Carolina, what are the qualities that you see in people when you can tell that they're going to be the next crown? And also, can you give us some tips about when you get a brand partner? What are like 3 or 4 of the first things that you should do with your brand partner? Is there a place on Purium Business that talks specifically about like a checklist of here is what you do once you get a brand partner?
So I can go raw if that's okay. So things that I see to spot a crown is like self-motivated. I don't have to tell them to join the calls. They join the calls. I see them showing up to absolutely everything. They prioritize their Purium business over anything, over going to a festival, over going to work, over having the day off. Like, for example, Autumn, she's working at a pickleball tournament. She signed up the main lady, the daughter of the lady. She got people on her team going there to help her. I helped her, like I will say, in 3 events, and she's done over 100 on her own. I think close to 100. She does like 3 per week, 3 tables a week. She contacts people. She's constantly messaging me. I talk to her maybe 3 times a day, every single day. So I know when she's constantly asking me for questions, what do I respond to this lady? She's a massage therapist. She has connotations with network marketing. What do I say? She's constantly asking me for questions. That is huge. If somebody's reaching out to you more than once a day, that person is really interested in growing their business. Second, she does everything I tell her to do. She's extremely coachable. I literally just texted my brand partner and I said, hey, I just made this story. You should use this and overlay it in your story because I just did it in my stories. In less than 30 minutes to an hour, she's already going to do it exactly how I did it. She doesn't even question. She does everything. And if I make a story and she needs the template, she messages me. He's like, hey, can I please have the template of the post that you just made so I can do the same thing? Literally every single thing. So now I'm getting used to just sending her the template right away because she keeps asking me for it. So that being coachable, she's willing, she's committed, that alone, and she's in action. Like last month, she had the most transformation nows in the entire company, right? Because I told her to focus in transformation now, because a lot of people try to focus on social media and social media doesn't work for everyone. So I try to spot what works best for them. And for her, it's like in person. So I'm like, you're going to focus in person. She does everything in person. So those are like the main traits. She's asking questions. She shows up to our Zooms. We have our training, our group training Zoom, and she shows up at work. So she's at work building her other business. You know, I can see the level of commitment and integrity that she has. So that is how I spot crowns. Then you say three to 4 tips on what to do when they get started to get them into action.
Right.
That is very subjective to you. I mean, there are some basics like onboarding them, letting them know they have to have clarity of what their link is so they can start sharing it, have clarity of duplication, have clarity of when the Zoom trainings are. Like there are just some basics that they need to know. Like these are the trainings. This is the one that I strongly recommend that you prioritize. If you really want to be serious, I will make this a non-negotiable, like a requirement to build your business. So I let them know to pick one of the calls, and then they show up. And then I speak duplication. And then I tell them what the replays are. Again, I'm not here to be in 100 connect calls. I'm here to teach my team how to share tools. So here's the replay video where I explain the program in detail after they watch the video. Then after they watch the video, we can get on a call, right? So I pre-qualify them. If they're not willing to watch the video, I'm not talking to them. So I hope that helps. Again, I don't know if there's a resource from Purium, but I'm a leader that I'm self-motivated. So if I see that that's missing, I build it.
So
and the company sees me using it and then they ask for it.
do you mainly use like on PuriumBusiness.com, the onboarding training guide that's there already?
So I created that and I already evolved. That's something that I did 2 years ago. So my new onboarding has evolved completely, which I have more resources. I have duplication, which is not on the Purium business, right? Purium business doesn't talk about duplication, but my onboarding business does talk about duplication. So if Purium is not providing something for your business that will help you grow, then it's your responsibility to create it. You got to
Is
find the
something-
leaks.
Is that something, Carolina, that you'd be willing to share with the rest of us?
No, for now, just because it's so specific on how I do things, and it kind of goes against what Purium teaches to do. And like I name my own packs, right? Like the core four, I call it the light pack. That the ULT, I call it a success pack. Like if you buy this pack, you're gonna be successful. I have the overachiever pack. If you want to be an overachiever in this business and like literally get to the next level, you got to get the overachievers pack. So I do things on my own terms, and Purium might not agree with it. So Melissa Hansen asked me for my tools. Like literally every crown keeps on asking me for my tools. And I don't want to get in trouble with anyone, because then everybody's going to be calling the overachievers pack. And Amy and Dave are like, what the hell is the overachievers pack, right? So these are things that you have to take the lead, and you have to kind of design it on your own with your upline and see what I do. Everything like totally different from the company. And after a few years, they're like, oh, okay, well, that's working for you. Can you please share it with me? So talk to Lucy. She knows what I'm doing, so she can give you guidance.
Okay, thank you.
That was great, Carolina. Thank you.
I just want to ask, yeah, go ahead. Oh my God, sorry. I just want to ask, as to what Carolina says, is you have to kind of spot the person that is willing to do things. When I first met Carolina on the phone, I can hear the energy. I can hear that she was willing to do things. Okay, I always follow the energy. And if I don't call you enough, it's because I don't feel the energy. I just follow the energy, and I want more of that. And then I remember, like it was yesterday, I was talking to Carolina, and Carolina was quiet. I was on the phone and she was quiet. I said, damn, she's not paying attention to me. Guess what she was doing? Already texting people what I was saying. She didn't question me. Why should I send this text, Lucy? She didn't say any of that. Oh, this is going to work? Nothing. She was just, okay. So, and I said, are you listening to me? She's like, yeah, I already sent it to my prospects. I'm like, wow. That's how you spot it. So I just want to add something like that. Thank you,
Can I
Carolina.
say
Ron, you wanna add
something
anything?
about Purium Business, the onboarding? That took us years of experimentation to like figure out. And what Caroline is talking about now is also just experimentation. So I don't want you guys to think that you need to know what she's doing right now, because it's all just experimentation. But Purium Business, that onboarding works. And so if you don't yet know every single word in that, then that's going to be a level up. That's a step up for you and your brand partners. It will be helpful. Like she did most of it. I helped a little bit, but like every single word in there was originally created by her through years of experimentation. And so don't get discouraged thinking she's doing something special right now, because it may or may not be working for us. Like when we make adjustments and determinations after the end of the year. And also, all of this starts before you enroll a brand partner. It starts with how you're creating the conversation with your brand partners and your brand partners' brand partners. Are you asking them questions about what their intentions is to do this, or are you just trying to convince them to do this? Because when we're trying to convince somebody to do something, usually we're just trying to get them to understand the lowest hanging fruit thing. You can help your customers do this. Like you can help your clients with ULT lifestyle. If that's all you mention to anybody, nobody's going to understand the concept of making money with this, because you really only can make a few hundred on average dollars a month by selling products. Some people will make thousands if they're selling over $4,000 worth of customers, which is going to be like 1% of 1% of 1% of people. And usually those people are so good at selling customers that they're also enrolling brand partners. That's why they're easily enrolling customers. So when you're enrolling somebody, if you're only talking about customers, which sometimes that's all that makes sense, is like the next step. But you have to read people. Like, do they need money? Are you asking them that question? Is money a motivating factor for them? If things were good in their, like, how would things get better in their life? How would things get better in their business? Is this studio owner or business owner or gym owner, are they happy with the supplements that they're currently offering people? We have to be asking these questions. Are they paying you enough? Are you interested in making more money? Or do you like your business? How long have you been working? Do you imagine doing this forever? Have you thought of another way? Do you have other streams of income? These are questions that lead you into explaining network marketing to people, because network marketing is the only way you'll be professional with Purium. Otherwise, you're just kind of growing organically is the words that people like to say. I just want to grow organically. Growing organically means that you might be making 50 to $600 a month at max. Okay, so if you want to be making 2,000, 3,000, if your brand partners say, ask them straight up, you're a nurse, how many hours a week do you work? 50. Okay, so why are you working 10 extra hours or whatever? It's like more than less than 40 is full time for them. But then they tell you, I have to work this because this is the amount of bills I have. Do you have time? Is there anything that you would like different in your life? Yeah, I'd like to be able to pick up my son and daughter from school every single day, but I can't do that because I'm working 50 hours as a nurse. You see, now you can say, well, I know that there's a way with Purium. How much money are you making doing that? A lot of times people are making way less money than you would think. 50 hours as a nurse, $3,500. Like, I've heard that before. I'm like, what? You've given your entire life for $3,500 a month? And then you have to take taxes out of that? That's green diamond money. And this is how you get to green diamond. Do you want to talk about that? In order to be green diamond, we need this and this and this, and we need 30,000 points, and that equals this. And so you can start to lay out what that looks like to people. And it doesn't take very long before people start to see the vision. But do you guys get it? Like, it's not just about selling ULT lifestyles. We have to figure out the root of what drives people to go to work as a nurse. Why are you doing that? Do you like it? And asking these questions that open up possibilities for them to create something bigger and better that goes beyond selling superfoods. And that will drive them to attend trainings and to reach out to more people and put you on the phone with more people. It'll also drive you to be better because you might not know what it takes to be a green diamond. And so now you're going to have to start studying and listening to podcasts and reading books to support this person that you have stimulated into growth.
Can I add something to what Raw was saying? Because it's super important. And actually, Raw taught me this because I'm very red personality. Like, you tell me to do something, I do it. And I will do it the best than anybody else, right? It's like I always had that super strong personality. And when working with leaders, having that strong, tough personality doesn't serve you because you have to become their friend. And I was like with Raw, I don't want to be her friend. She's a freaking like lunatic. Like, I don't want to be her friend. I just want to get her into doing the work, right? And I was so resistant to be friends with my downline. So resistant. I just was laser focused on making money, getting my business to the next level, whatever. And when how long did it take me, Raw, to actually get it? Like 2-3 years?
I'm still working on you through it. Like,
Still working on, like, I mean, I'm friends with my downline now, even though like I want to literally murder some of them because they're mean, they yell at people, they insult me at times, right? But guess what? I have to be their friend. I have to be their friend no matter what, no matter how bad they treat me, no matter how they literally make me hurt my feelings or whatever it means, I have to be their friend, because guess what? They're going to be your success line. They're going to take you to the top. You don't want to have your downline against you. Absolutely ever. That's like, what is it? Masochistic, like this self-sabotage. And in order to get this deep with your brand partners, a lot of your brand partners are not going to quit, even if they're consultants, because they're your friend. And I've been able to have so much retention in my business because I hear somebody that her dad got a stroke and she just needs somebody to vent to. Because I hear somebody that their boyfriend cheated on her and she needs to vent and I got to talk to her. And literally, like, I know everything of everyone's life in my whole entire downline. Like, everyone, like, in if my downline's here, I know what's happening with Kiki right now. I know what's happening with her daughters. I know what's happening with her job. I know what's happening to literally everyone in my entire team, because I'm their friend and I'm always going to support them no matter what it happens in life, because they're not going to quit on me. They're not going to quit on business because they have a friendship. And Raw used to say this: my gym members will not quit their gym membership because they didn't want to quit on their friends. So they will keep on paying a gym membership for years and years, and they will show up once in a while. And when they show up, they didn't even work out. They were like stretching and hanging out in the gym the whole time. So have that mentality. And once you have that mentality, you build in legacy thinking. And we actually had to go over that with one of our brand partners yesterday. Start thinking with legacy. In network marketing, you don't think of instant gratification. That's a trap. You have to start teaching your team how to think with legacy. Every single decision that they make, am I doing this decision based on legacy? Raw, you want to explain what happened yesterday with
Yeah, and this is one of those things that may or may not be in alignment with your current system of your enroller or even Purium. So just want to add that as a disclaimer. But since it's a real topic that came up, Lucy, did you want to add something? Like, where does it make sense? Because your hand's up.
Yes, I just want to add,
This is your call.
you know what? It's funny that you're talking about that, Carolina, because yesterday Mike was saying, you get mad of your upline, but you never, ever get mad of your downline. I want to repeat it again. You get mad of your upline. You can come and yell at your upline. Well, don't do that. But sometimes, well, do it because I deserve it. Get mad at me, but your downline is gold. Treat it like gold. That's what I was going to add.
Guys, it's a golden rule. You complain up. Like the second you, I mean, even if it's like, I need to set a boundary, like all the things that the self-development books are telling you about, like in my opinion, it doesn't apply to network marketing. You're the parent slash mentor slash best friend slash support to your downline. And they really shouldn't feel like they need to be emotionally stable for you. Like that's my opinion. And it's hard to do for some, but if you need to complain about something, don't complain to your downline. Always complain up. Never punch down, says Eric. Yeah, exactly. um, uh, all right. So real situation that happened. There's this question. Do I keep someone a customer or do I make them a brand partner? And again, this might go against training that maybe we've even done in the past. But right now we're discovering that someone becomes a brand partner, you now get paid 5% of their points as opposed to 20% of their dollars. And it can start to influence people to only make people brand partners when they're ready because of that, right? Like because you don't want them to order for the next 3 years and you're not making 20% commission off of it. And we just think that's really short-sighted because a brand partner who does nothing still has an ability to 3 years down the line enroll your next crown. But if they stayed a customer, maybe they only lasted one more month of ordering products and they're not. When someone becomes a brand partner, there's an identity with Purium that now they're waving a flag, even if it's just 1% more or even subconscious, but it makes them stick around a little bit more because they're part of the club. And again, it might not even be at their conscious awareness, but they're part of the club. They literally get an email that says, congrats, you're a brand partner. They're a brand partner now. They get access to back office. They get invited to the Zooms, even if they never, ever, ever come to it. But when someone becomes a brand partner, there's a possibility that they can enroll someone who enrolls someone who enrolls someone who enrolls someone, and then like this chain reaction comes. So we're talking with the brand partner, like if you're thinking about losing out on $70 of commission because their next month of ULT are only going to be getting paid 5% of the points, which is like $15 as opposed to $70, $80. Like that's not what network marketing is. You're never going to build wealth with customers. So if you're focused on retaining customers, that's a dead end road, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, there is one caveat that you don't want the fast start to burn out, but that's a different focus. Like that's a legitimate focus. If you feel like the person is going to, but the thing that we were dealing with yesterday is this person already has an avenue of potential customers and or brand partners that is open, and the decision was like, well, do we make this person a brand partner or not, because she may or may not be active, she doesn't seem like she cares. But like if you still have access to their network, just start thinking in terms of legacy. Like if there's any potential for this person to introduce you to somebody who could be a brand partner and or a customer, they should technically be a customer, irregardless if you're going to lose money on the amount of commission from their personal orders or not. So just start thinking from a long-term perspective. Back in the day, guys, even with Purium, there was no such thing as customers. Like it helps us out, helps out people who never are interested in being a brand partner. We don't need to make them a brand partner. But network marketing, traditionally, everyone's a brand partner who can offer it to people. So if you have people that have that potential or they express interest or the conversation's already started, just start thinking from like an empire standpoint. How does the empire get built? It doesn't get built with customers. So don't be afraid to open those doors, even if you lose out on some money, because there's a payoff. Like there's investment, there's risk that we take, and we get to make those decisions. And I'm not saying it's going to be, you shouldn't make everyone a brand partner for the sake of making them a brand partner just because I'm saying this, but it is a question that we get to ask ourselves.
Well done. Well, great point, y'all. So love your business, love the products, love the tools, love creating new tools like Carolina's talking about that she does. And most importantly, love yourself. Be kind to yourself, you know. And I've learned from some great network marketers over the years. And I remember one guy I was listening to a seminar, and he said, people in my organization are not in my downline; they're in my success line. And he said, the people above me are my support line. So success line and support line are two cool words that you all might consider. When I heard it, I loved it from this gentleman. So, you know, there again, we're talking about lifestyle, y'all. Lifestyle. What is like, I love what Carolina said when, you know, she comes over and visits us. And, you know, there again, when you're focused on building a business, sometimes it becomes so overwhelming, you can't see the flowers for the trees because you're so focused. You know, but because she has this relationship with Lucy, and I absolutely love their relationship because they're, you know, it's such a sweet relationship of two. When I hear them talking Spanish together, and I go, oh man, they're going at it. They're having fun, you know. And Carolina's there whipping it out, yeah, you know. And it's so much fun to listen to. And so I'll just tell you, y'all. We're teaching you simple duplication. Like I said, tag your it. Well, tag your it in Purium could be become. I mean, if you looked at the wellness catalog, if you're building customers and they're not ready for the ULT or the Daily Core 4, that wellness goal catalog has got about 40 different suggestions for challenges of, and there is not a person you meet that wouldn't like one of these things if they're not ready to get involved on another level. I mean, and they can all use your $50 gift card. For most of those packs are around $150, $175. So they got a $50 gift card, saving $50 on anywhere from $175 to $199. So don't be shy. Every person is a potential customer, because I believe that we all should be in the 1K club. And the 1K club means maybe 5, 6, 7 customers. So if everybody on this call was on the 1K club, we've got 18 people on this call, and we'll say everybody on this call is under Carrie Quinn. So we got 7, she got 17 people from her organization on this call, and they're all in the 1K club, and they're all doing at least 200 BV a month on their own, being in the business. Now, Carrie's got almost 20,000 in volume right now, just by everybody on this call duplicating, being in the 1K club. 1,000 in customers and eating $200 to $250 worth of premium a month. That's simple duplication. So however you can get that in your mind. Maybe you get them to 500 a month, and then go to the 1K club. Even if everybody on this call was at 500 in customers and 250 themselves in BV, which every brand partner should be. If you're a committed brand partner, you want to do 200 to 250 BV a month. Well, just on 500 BV plus the 250, Carrie would be looking at about 10,000 in volume right now, and just with the 17 of us on this call, because we simply duplicated. And Carrie didn't sponsor all of us. Ross sponsored me and Lucy. Lucy sponsored Lori and Patty. Patty sponsored Barbero and Kenny. And it goes on and on. So anyway, I just want you to know, this system of duplication is what we all want to embrace. However, you can bring it into your being as a network marketer. Because network marketing is throwing out your net, picking a product, a company that has the consciousness that you love, and the products you love, and the comp plan you love, throwing out that net and drawing in people. So go ahead, Lucy, why don't you close the call out?
Yes, I want to close the call. Carolina, you make me laugh. Right here. If you're waiting for the other step to go up, or Carolina willing to share the training that she's doing or something that's good, start with this. It's already here. Visit this. Carolina create all this when you onboarding somebody, and you can find it in puriumbusiness.com. You guys don't wait. I use it all the time. Onboarding this is right here. Let me tell you something. If you haven't visited this, if you haven't started this yourself, onboarding yourself. If you don't call me and we do it together, I will onboard you. I will pretend that you're new, and I will do this one. Carolina does it all the time. And yeah, she finds something that she didn't like it, and she created something even better. But if you want to wait for that, for Carolina the company to say, Carolina, can we use that one? And then guess what? Other people's going to rank advanced, and you're going to stay on the same thing. And then other people's going to rank advanced. And then when Carolina brings the stuff, the new one, I'm going to say, oh, I'm ready because Carolina got it. And I said, okay, good. So study. And that person is going to say, okay, I'll study that one. And then by then, Carolina is going to bring another new thing. And I said, okay, guess what? It changed. So keep reading. You just keep doing that one. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but don't wait. Use the tools that the company has. If you're really good about using the tools that the company has, when the other tools will come, you're going to jump and you're going to be even better. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, Michael. And I know you want to share a screen share.
No,
but
I
I
don't.
think
I'm not sharing
wait,
nothing.
we should wait for next Saturday.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm not sharing anything.
Okay, and next Saturday, we're gonna talk about your calendar. What do you have in your calendar? Okay, I went to a great event last Thursday. I signed up 3 customers. They signed up on their own. I didn't even call them because I give gift cards. It was 300 people. Took my 300 and I was like crazy giving gift cards to everybody. I was like, here, here, here. And then Mr. Temple said, oh, I love the person that brought free something. I didn't know that I can bring free samples and give them away. So I had to wait for next month because every month. Now I'm gonna bring samples because he doesn't mind, because he wants to help people. Anyway, Mr. Temple is famous in social media, famous in the Latino community, and it was all in Spanish. So network, get out of your house. It took me 2 hours to get to the event, 2 hours going that way, hour to come back. And then I didn't get back until like 10:30, and I got out of my house at 1, but it was worth it 100%. So go network. And that's all I have to say, Michael. Thank you.
Okay, and so I want to thank everybody for their involvement with Purium, with their commitment to help other people. And thanks, Carolina and Ra, for adding your insights. Appreciate it so much. And Lucy, always amazing as usual. And I just wanted to say that we got a week. This week's coming up. What tools are you using this week? So when you get off this phone, there's a bunch of calls coming up. Carolina does a great product call on Monday night. You got some new customers? Get them on that call. 5 o'clock. It's a 25-minute call, and it is a really good, great testimonials. And then you got on Wednesday night, Dominique is doing a call, which is a great product call as well as business with her sister. That's an option too. So you got 2 great calls that people are taking their time to help you build your organization. Are you getting that? Do you understand that? Are you telling your team that? Because these are the tools that are available right now to make it simple for you. And you got Lucy's Spanish call on the 1st and 3rd Thursday of every month. How many people on this call have sent someone to the Spanish call on Thursday night with all the Latinas and Latinos that are around you? How many people have taken the time to reach out to a Latina and say, you ought to listen to a friend of mine on Thursday night talking about the business I'm in. I can show you how to create a residual income. And I'm asking every one of you, are you asking people, oh, I can show you how to create a residual income. Are you open to learning? I can show you by eating the best superfoods on the planet how to create a residual income that will change your life in a positive way forever. Okay? So anyway, on that note,
No, and let's don't forget about the Million Mile Movement call. It's on Thursday at 4 o'clock. And this coming Thursday, Dominic is leading the call. It's a business call, not product, not the Million Mile. It's a business call. And
it's a great call, everybody. It's really a good call, that Million Mom call. And Dave's call on Wednesday, and then the Tuesday call, which Rod did last week. And
listen to that.
That was a great call, Rod. Let's give Rod a round of applause, everybody. Hey,
That's a really, really good call, you guys. Really good.
Yeah, you ought to re-listen to it. And when you're sitting around the house and you're when you're working, find this call that Lucy will put on YouTube and all the other calls that are there, and listen to it in the background. I'll guarantee you, I'm going to re-listen to this because there's some tips that I couldn't keep up with that Carolina and Ra was sharing, and Lucy. So please step up, everybody. Keep having fun. You all are great people. And just know it and do the visualization work. See yourself out with people. See yourself connecting with that great energy of yours. Feel the love, man, that you have for these folks that are suffering so much. Because, man, most of these people are suffering financially and nutritionally. And on that note, blessings to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.